Rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Calderon, and thank you for joining us on this another Friday. With us again is our co-host, Oti. Oti, how are you doing today? That's a cool Marky Monroe shirt. Every time you wear it, I gotta mention it.
It's a shirt of my favorite villain, welcoming in one of my new favorite villains.
Oh man, we'll talk about that villain that a lot of people don't want to call him a villain.
He's a villain. Come on.
He just wants to. He doesn't want to kill them. Just put them into slavery for the rest of their lives.
My favorite antagonist welcoming in one of my new favorite antagonists.
All right. This is Star Wars just full of antagonists. There's no villains. Just Palpatine. And probably a bunch more. But anyway, we're here to talk Star Wars. Skeleton Crew, of course, the finale. It came earlier this week, and we'll jump into that in a few minutes. But Oti, how are you doing today? It's Friday, so that's always good, right?
That's always good. The week is over, the day is over. That's all that matters. With the day that you've had, I've had a pretty chill day.
Yeah, I won't go into it, but I told you
Crazy.
at 8:15 I was still on my pajamas, and an alarm came on my computer to say you have to be somewhere in 15 minutes, but that somewhere is 25 minutes away, so good luck getting there, or your job's in jeopardy. Not that far, but it's my job to go do that, so I was able to. But yeah, it's been a day.
You can always pull the, hey, I'm Puerto Rican. We're always late.
We're always late. The cool thing when I texted to the people I was meeting, hey, sorry, I'm going to be a few minutes later. Oh, yeah, that's fine. We're also late, like 5 to 15. And I'm, okay, I feel good. I'm still the last one that got there. But it worked out.
Whatever.
We're here, so it worked out. And to everyone that's out there watching us, thanks for being here. If it's your first time watching, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new episodes when they drop, especially because we're going to be taking about 2 to 3 weeks off. I'm not sure how long. We'll be back early in February for that Star Wars podcast day, whatever Friday or Saturday that falls. I'm not sure. Might still do one episode or two on Fridays before we go back to our regular times on Saturday. So subscribe so you don't miss when we go back. Like this video and comment down below if you're listening to this on the replay. And if you're listening to the audio podcast, as always, thank you and give us those cool 5-star ratings and review. All right, Oti, before we jump officially into it, I see there's a comment from our friend Brennan out there. What's Brennan saying today?
Is or was in the chat. He's saying, hello there, gentlemen. Hello there, gentlemen. I have enjoyed this show immensely, and I am sad to see it go. I like that it gives us enough closure while still leaving it open for future exploration of characters and the story. Yep, I agree.
Yeah. I said a couple of weeks ago, Brennan is always there with my thoughts, at least, with Skeleton Crew every week. And we put this out last week, and it's also again on the description of the video. Help out as you can, if you can, with the fires that are going on in California. Things seem to finally start to be a little bit under control, but still a lot to go. And then there's a bunch of snowstorms coming. It might even snow in Florida on Wednesday. So help if you can. Tweet it out, retweet or repost, and also protect yourself and make sure everyone out there is safe.
That climate, man, it's changing. They should put a name for it. They should do something about it.
I would change what they call it, but I don't know what to. Climate something, but change it, right? It's something out there. Yep. What I was saying when I left early this morning to deal with what I was going, it was 37 outside my house when I left. I know I have a long sleeve shirt. I'm almost sweating now. It's in the high mid 60s, but it's a 30-degree swing.
Really?
Normal. So to say.
Right now, here's like the opposite effect. It feels way colder than it actually is.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, my dog took 20 minutes to pee outside, and I was angry because I was like in shorts and I was freezing. I was like, let's fucking go.
I remember, sorry, we're just wasting time now. When I got one of my dogs, when we got her, was in December, of course. So we're trying to potty train her and take her outside and all that stuff. And it's like I'm at midnight walking around. It's like 30 degrees. I'm like, just go to the bathroom. I need to go back and say like, I don't care.
Yeah, my dog loves when it's cold outside. So when it's like that, like 30s, she's so excited to be outside. You're like, let's fucking go.
Yeah. Oh well. We'll talk about someone that owns dogs in one of our first news items. So if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars and Star Wars news.
Star Wars news.
That's a terrible, great segue, by the way.
Dude, that was a good one. It was a good. Give me that one. It worked. It worked. I don't know if this will work, but according to where's my notes? According to our friend, I'll call him Frank as we mentioned him before, Christian Harloff on his podcast, and I'm reading this from Star Wars Newsnet. They mention, as far as Harloff understands, the plot of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie will be a rescue mission with the title characters trying to rescue the Hutt, we know who that is, who's being held hostage by none other than Embo, the Kyuso bounty hunter from the Clone Wars animated series. Dave Filoni voiced him in the show and will do so again. And as we know, Embo had a dog by the name of Marok in the Clone Wars.
Oh,
Confused with Marok, the Inquisitor from the Ahsoka show. But okay, so this news or this rumor dropped a couple days ago. And I don't want to say that I don't believe it. Like again, I have no insider knowledge or anything. But if you would told me, hey, so the plot of the Mandalorian movie is gonna be that the main villain is Embo, this I'm gonna call him second grade bounty hunter, and it's not disparaging because I love Embo and his design and everything.
it's a fictional character. What do you care about disparaging the character? Come on.
It's for people out there that's gonna jump on the chat. How do you hell call Embo a secondary bounty hunter?
Hey,
But this-
Trump is president again. I can say whatever I want.
Nothing matters. Oh man, let's not get into the TikTok ban right now.
48 hours left, people. Woo!
It's the purge is coming. My microphone is on the other side. My second monitor, everything's backwards right now. So if you would tell me, so the plot is this bounty hunter that almost no one knows about is going kidnap this Hutt that no one knows about, and Mando has to go save them, and that's the plot of the movie. I'm gonna say that's a very bad plot. I don't want to see that as a movie. It kind of makes sense as an episode arc. But as a movie main villain, Embo doesn't make sense, especially when, he kidnapped Rhoda. Didn't we just go through this in the Clone Wars movie back in 2008, which is my least favorite? This as a secondary plot inside the movie, I'm okay.
Is this like Lord of the Rings where we have like 5 plots going on?
Yeah. We'll just separate Mando on one side, Grogu on the other. But just your overall thoughts when you heard Embo as the villain and what that
Where did
might
Christian
mean.
Harloff get this from?
I don't know, and I'll say I don't have anything against him. I said here before that him and his show when he had him collide with Jedi Council is one of the reasons I have this show now. Kind of what I wanted to do this. I kind of drift away from watching everything that he did because it kind of went a different route. I just remember back, I think when The Last Jedi came out, he was talking about on the show that we're talking about. We have confirmation that Snoke is Plagueis. Write it down, put all your money on it, and it didn't pan out. And then they were like, "We're off the scoops game. This is not gonna work out for us." And now almost every week is, "Oh, we have this new scoop." So I don't know where he heard it. I just saw that this was reported in a bunch of places that picked up from that podcast. So I don't know where he heard it from.
Okay.
But
no, I agree with you. Like, I don't think he went like full, like those other accounts, but he kind of, it was like Fandom Men is Curious, maybe.
Mm-hmm,
I don't know.
Sure.
I feel the same way. This makes absolutely no sense to me.
Oh man.
A movie about Embo? Like,
yeah.
That's like, how do I put this? Like, that's something that I think we would like.
Yeah.
Because like we're into the Clone Wars and we think Embo is pretty cool because Embo is pretty cool. But I like, really, that's how you're bringing in the casual fan? Like,
and this is the movie that's bringing back Star Wars to the theaters.
It's a movie about Embo, but like
Rhoda. It's not even Java. It's Rhoda the Hutt that no one knows.
I'm going somewhere. I mean, you can't do Java because Java's dead.
I know, but
It
Who
makes
knows who
sense
Rhoda
for it to
is?
be Rada. For me, Rada makes sense because you can't have Java, so let's just bring in his son, which will probably look very similar to him. So where I'm going with this is I don't believe this. Like, this is something I would have to see to believe. Like,
Sure.
like Dave Filoni may come out and say, "No, Embo is in the movie. I need to see him in a trailer." Like, I don't believe you.
You need to be
But
sat down. Because they change trailers. You might see something in the trailers different from the movie.
but the second thing I'm gonna say, and like I'm gonna throw Christian Harloff a towel here and not call him a liar, because I don't think he has
Yeah.
any reason to make. Hey, I don't know, maybe he's really drifted off the. Do you remember when what's the biggest moment in Mandalorian history?
Luke Skywalker showing up?
Luke Skywalker showing up,
Yeah.
right? Do you remember the gallery episode?
Yes, when they used to do 6 episodes. No, because that one was just
That
one
was
episode.
that was one.
Yeah, season 2.
Do you remember what character they said it was gonna be?
Yeah.
They said it was gonna be Plo Koon,
yeah.
so no one would know it's Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
What if it's something like that? What if it's another character, another big character that would turn her? No, that wouldn't make sense. But character that would turn heads and be like, okay, interesting, and yeah, and this is like their way to hide it.
You know what? Maybe I'll take that before Embo being the big villain. It doesn't make sense to bring Embo if it's in fact the big. If he's one of the villains in the movie, okay, maybe. And my first thought was, if you're gonna bring a bounty hunter, then bring Boba Fett, right? If you want to make a big splash. But unfortunately, Boba Fett already came back, and we know his story, so he doesn't fit in that position that they have Embo at. But just being the same plot or very similar to the plot of the Clone Wars movie, Rhoda has been kidnapped, needs to be rescued by the New Republic. For what reason? It's like, why are we retreading the same things that we went to almost 20 years ago? My least favorite Star Wars movie, I tried to find things that I liked in everything. The only thing I liked about that movie is the lightsaber fights. I hate everything else, basically. I don't like... If it's a side plot, still, it's why are we chasing after Rhoda? Why is Rhoda the one who said, hey, we need to kidnap a Hutt? Rhoda, that's an easy guy. He doesn't do anything. We can kidnap him pretty easily. Why is always the same guy? Why are we doing this again? It's my question.
I mean, like, I don't mind if they retread the plot. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel it makes sense though, because, like, again, who's really seen the Clone Wars movie? Like, out of the $1 billion that go to see the Star Wars movie when they come out, like, what percentage of that has seen the Clone Wars movie? Like, I don't think it's that big. So on that side, I don't really mind what the plot is. What's still super weird to me with this movie, because I hate doing like, this movie has to do this. This movie has to do nothing. This movie just has to be entertaining and make money and not collapse at the box office. So if it's just a fun Mando and Grogu adventure, whatever, that's what it is. But like, we all know the Mandoverse, quote unquote, which by the way, I'm so tired of that term. I hate it. Is leading to an epic conclusion.
Yeah.
This is the next chapter in the Mandalorian story and in that saga, let's say. So how does this push the story forward? Like, if it's just Mando rescuing Rada, yes, maybe it's a fun movie, maybe it's a romp, whatever. But it's been what, 3 years at that point since Mando came out, and the story has not moved forward, basically, or 2 years since Ahsoka, and that story has not moved on. So I kind of feel that this can't be like, this movie can't be a rescue mission of Rada the Hutt. Like, maybe it is, and the Empire. I don't know.
Maybe that's the first 15 minutes. They do a Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that would be cool.
No, so you know what? I'm going with your towel throwing of saying that this is a smoke and screen, basically. You know who it is instead of Embo? It's gonna be Judd. Judd Nana would kidnap Rhoda, and that's why they gotta keep it on the down.
How? That doesn't
I
make
don't
any
know.
sense.
All right, let's move on. We are both in the camp that we don't know what the hell this is. We don't think people are lying, but it doesn't make sense.
Again, I think if it is like a side story to the main story, yeah, sure, Embo makes sense, and I'd be super pumped for it. But until I don't see him in a trailer, I'm not gonna believe this.
Just give me if it's an intro, this is what Mando has been doing for the past 3 years since we last saw him.
Yeah, on the Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it. All right. And just with that little thing, that reminded me of all the Clone Wars, right? They started with a little intro like that. More animated shows, apparently.
Hey!
So, and I will throw a word that you love in here. According to a post on Patreon from his everywhere now, insider Daniel Richmond, Lucasfilm is developing 2 new animated Star Wars series for Disney Plus. So on one end, yeah, makes sense that they're developing more animated shows. This is what Star Wars has been doing for decades now. I posted I expected an animated announcement during Celebration. I'm pretty sure we'll get it.
I still do.
2 seems kind of iffy, depending how you go. Might be a sequel to the Tales of series. We know we're getting Visions. But so if they are announcing 2, my idea, it's that it's one of the third Tales of whatever it is, and then a longer form series to kind of take over for what Bad Batch left behind. What that series is, or might be, I have no idea, no clue.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. If they are doing like 2 full-blown series, it would be surprising, but I think it would still make sense because we don't know of any other TV shows coming out. So what's happening after Ahsoka? When is Ahsoka? We'll probably know in April, but yeah. So I don't know. I've heard a lot of things about this. Like, if I had to bet, I think I would go on the safe side and say it's the 3rd season of Tales of, and I don't know, the Luke Skywalker show.
We don't need to get into. Yeah,
have you seen anything on? I know people who say that they know what it is.
The animated show? No, I haven't read anything.
Okay.
No. If you had a voice in it or a vote, what would you like to see? We can discuss this in our next episode when we talk about future Star Wars in 2025.
I think I would go with Luke.
Okay.
The Luke Ben Solo thing, and very similar to Clone Wars. We know where it ends.
Yeah.
So that's some tension building there. It would be that or High Republic.
Yeah. I wish High Republic. The way they've been focusing on a lot in the comics, some of the books, in that time period after Return of the Jedi, starting to set up what goes on with the sequel trilogy, kind of makes sense to maybe do something that time period. Everyone's been asking for a Luke Skywalker Jedi Order something. It's a safe move, but it's something that most people will be on board with.
It would be super cool if they did like a High Republic thing set during the time that we know, but maybe just something else, and then have the Leveler and the Markion thing present, but be like something different.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, hopefully we'll find out in Celebration.
Hopefully.
All right, so that does it for the movie news. I don't know why I put that again. It's just a cool, It's a cool one. All right, this is what I want to do. Okay, bye Star Wars news. By you. Okay, so what we came here to talk about, our main topic, it's Star Wars on TV.
I am not your failure, Obi-Wan.
Star Wars on TV.
All right, so Star Wars on TV. Skeleton Crew out to the finale for, I'm going to say it's season 1. I know it doesn't mean that I know that season 2 is coming. Of course, I would love a season 2. We're gonna get all into that in a minute, but what a finale! I think we'll of course break everything down.
Why
I
didn't we
think it.
change places?
Oh, because there you go. Thank you. I moved my setup around,
Okay.
and for some reason, I put my second monitor on this side. It used to be on my right. Here, I know it's flipped, but
Okay.
the way I need to move that cursor is all messed up, and it messed up my
Okay. Whatever.
whatever. I just hit the wrong button. I tried to mute myself and just remove myself from the stream. Sorry for the people listening out there. You don't know what we're talking about. Anyway, the finale for Skeleton Crew, it hit all the right notes. We'll talk about, of course, as we go about any big reveals. Did we get in? Did we not? Was anything missing from this episode? But all in all, I think Skeleton Crew started on a high note, was all the way on a high note through the middle of the season, and still ended on a high note. A very positive show from the fandom, the reviewers out there. Everyone seemed to love this show, and the finale was another hit.
I feel very similar to that. I told you, like, when the episode initially ended, I had like it was abrupt. I think we can say that.
Oh, very.
And it left me like, huh, really? That's it. But then thinking about it, I actually really appreciated that it ended like that. So yeah, can't wait to get like super into it.
I remember when we were talking about maybe episode 3, we talked about here how some people out there were saying that the episode were ending kind of abruptly, and we're like, no, everything's been fine. But then the last like 3 episodes, they've all ended very abruptly, and this was the same way. It threw me for sideways a little bit. Kind of expected that it was about to end because it had been over 40 minutes. But yeah, it's kind of, oh, what happened to everyone? It's kind of, hey, here you go. Some people love that, others don't. We'll get into that. So let's talk first about Judd and the kids. Last week we ended on, hey, we're at the Mint. The parents are here, and now he turned on his lightsaber, and we had a bunch of different views of where that might go.
No, I'm a Jedi.
Yeah, I'm a Jedi. I'm here to help you. I just killed that bounty hunter because that pirate out there that was defenseless, but I'm still a Jedi. But he's like, don't trust these kids. All these kids are misbehaved. They got into a lot of trouble. I'm the emissary. You gotta do what I say. So take them away and keep the droids looking at them. All
They're
the
grounded.
Like, yeah, grounded. Report back to me. And you, Fern, you're coming with me. And everyone's like, okay, I guess the emissary will do whatever he wants.
Emissary knows best.
Yeah. But I love, it's a cool way to keep the kids quiet. Just, hey, there's droids watching you. And I guess it's been set up throughout the whole series that there are droids watching your every single move.
Yeah.
But what I really appreciated is that Judd was smart enough to know that he couldn't trust Fern, even with putting a droid. Like, no, Fern, you come with me. Because I don't trust you out there.
Yep.
You and your mom, come with me. Let's go meet the supervisor. And the most, oh, yes, the supervisor. At
What an honor.
What an honor. But it was a cool kind of beginning to the episode. It was, we're here, let's go. And puts all the kids still in some type of trouble, even if Judd is not around.
It set everything up super quickly. Like, no, we're gonna go meet the supervisor right now. Everyone is getting separated. They can't move. They can't say anything. Like I really liked how it started.
Yeah, I love then when they're furnished with them going to see the supervisor, and all the other kids are at their home. Poor Wendell, Wim's dad, just using that weird space microwave to heat up some microwave lasagna or something. It's like, nothing like a home cooked meal. It's like, dude, you didn't do anything. You just heated up some food there.
I mean, can I go into a side story?
Yeah, again, my notes are all over the place. So if we
no, this has nothing to do with Star Wars. This has to do with my issues with American culture.
Oh, okay.
I once went to. I have a lot of family in Miami, and we once went there. And that comment you did reminded me of this. And one of my aunts, God bless her, she was like, "Oh, we're gonna make this huge banquet, and I'm gonna make all the food and everything." And it was all like frozen things, like frozen mashed potatoes, frozen chicken, and cool. But Puerto Ricans are all about cooking. So when you say you're gonna make a banquet,
we expect something more.
Yeah.
I have my in-laws here for almost a whole month in December, so I I fell back into all that Puerto Rican extra
Good.
food that's always there. And also my wife, I just finish up a lasagna by myself because I'm the only. We don't need to get into that. But I love that even though the kids are back home where they're supposed to be safe, they're not really safe. They're still falling back. Like Wendell is still, oh, you gotta go take your assessment. The second thing that he tells his son after, hey, we rescued you. You got a test tomorrow. Don't forget about it.
What a loser.
Hey, but Wendell came in clutch at the end. Gotta love them.
Definitely.
Love them. Neel, you gotta love Neel. He's always
Straight to the bubble bath.
down for a good soak. And I posted this. I love not poor Wim. He's smart enough to be trying to contact Neel. Hey, we need to rescue Fern. And then, who are you talking to? I need to report this to the supervisor. Oh no, we gotta rescue Princess Fern. Playing with the toys. It's great move.
Yep.
Then we'll go with everything that happens with the supervisor, but then the droid showed off. Everything's off, and then I love that he just freaking pushes a droid. He doesn't even check to see. Pushes him down. The droids that all shut off, they're the ones that are going to help us. When Wendell's, oh, we'll leave it to the droids. They'll do it. It's like, they're all messed up. They don't work.
That's when he says, Jod didn't try to save us. He's trying to take us.
Yeah. No, the droids can handle it. The security droids are all off and just freaking knock someone down.
Yeah.
Hoverbikes still work, and then just rush out.
Kids and bikes, baby.
Yeah. That freaking guy, that kid just loitering outside the house. I would have called the police 20 minutes ago. What is this guy doing out here? All right, let's go to the droid. To the supervisor. And, this is me clapping you. You were like 99, 98% there with who the supervisor was and what was going on. Because you're the one that said, oh, I think that Judd is the first emissary to come out. They forgot about it.
Yeah.
It was mostly there. There hasn't been an emissary for a long time. So it was all dusty. No one's been up there. So you were pretty close. So
when they got there, my initial thought was like, is this Imperial? Like the computers and everything. It looked like that, like an Imperial starship.
I was all right. I thought they were supplying Imperial remnants. Here we go. Everything looked like a Star Destroyer. And then that droid giant head with a red eye turns around like, oh, okay, it's a droid.
I was expecting Palpatine to be like, alas.
We expected that the supervisor was going to be a droid. You mentioned it's going to be a wizard off kind of thing. Just, oh, I'm the supervisor. I handle everything. So not a big surprise, but I don't think it was needed at that point.
No, again, that whole reveal was so cool. Again, slowly showing you the room, slowly showing you everything.
Yeah, it was a great reveal because everyone's so excited to go meet the supervisor. And then when you walk in, everything's dark, everything's extremely dusty, all those wires hanging out. And when it starts to turn, you think there's going to be someone sitting behind a chair. So even though we kind of expect it was going to be a droid, which was fun. I know a bunch of people out there have been saying, oh, it's Tak Reynolds. Tak Reynolds is the supervisor. He's dead. He's been there for like 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. What I did love when he's trying, I'm a Jedi. I'm an emissary and I'm a Jedi and we have to do this. And well, that's funny because the last communication said the Jedi were all traitors. So what are you lying about?
By the way, when he's like super misogynistic with Farah and the supervisor's like, well said. Like, oh. But that was super clever because the supervisor's like, you are either a Jedi or a Republic emissary, but you can't be both because the Jedi are traitors.
I love that reveal.
And Job being like, fuck.
The one thing I didn't count on. But I loved it, and then it puts kind of At Attin, and I guess the great work that I want to talk about that. Around that time period of the fall of the Republic, the Empire coming on board. That's, I guess, more or less when people stopped coming, and then the supervisor got all messed up.
I kind of, Tony was like, no, I don't think we know enough, but I'm pretty sure like he said that was the last message they got from the Republic, so I'm guessing ever since Palpatine took over, no one went back to.
Still want to know why it was kept hidden. If it was a Republic planet,
So no
why
one would
was?
rob no
No,
one would rob it.
I guess. I guess this didn't work out too well. I mean, it did last for
It
about
did work out too
25
well.
years. 25 years, more or less, maybe 30.
Yeah, I think closer to 30
Yeah,
years.
more or less. But so Judd basically tells him, "Shut. We gotta."
It was so hidden that the Palpatine probably killed his Secretary of Treasury, so he
Yeah,
never found out about where the
we
myth
found
was.
out.
I was like,
It's like, but I got something that might save my life. I don't care. You're dead.
no,
I gotta put
yeah.
my
Where do we get all our
confirm.
where do
You
we get all
gotta
our money?
confirm my nominee and bring it up next week. You gotta confirm it. I don't care what you're saying.
Nope.
But I love the way that they played with, oh, we had this switch that will just turn off the barrier and then reveal everything. Or I can just make this code to let your ship come in. I got a little bit worried when all the pirates came in and then started destroying the planet. And I'm like, okay, here's when the big reveal is coming and Mando is going to show up. I'm glad it didn't happen. We'll talk more.
I was waiting for it. I was super
Yeah,
waiting for it.
I know.
I love that scene, Alberto, when the ship comes down. Like it there's a shot of KB looking at it. It reminded me of Close Encounters.
Okay. Yeah.
It all of that reminded me of just like 80s alien invasion movies.
I seen that comparison before. It reminded me of War of the Worlds, where the tripods come out and everyone just looking. And it's almost the same thing. Most of the people there haven't seen, yeah, they're aliens there, but they're At Attin people. Haven't seen a spaceship come into town. And it kind of gave out that vibe, especially with all that green glow that's going on At Attin. Was that great work? Because they keep mentioning, yes, the creed by the great work were ruled by a droid, and they keep mentioning the great work. Was the great work just keeping all these mints around? Or
yeah, I think so. I think that's it. I think it's basically like they all know what their purpose is, so
yeah,
like a machine.
Mm-hmm. They're all part of a machine, man. Oh, did you like the little nod they gave Puerto Rico in that episode?
Oh, with the power surge.
With the power outage, when all the pirates come down and start wreaking havoc.
No, that wasn't very accurate because power
doesn't come
outages
on.
don't get solved that quickly, Wendell.
Hey, he's a level 7 system
Level
administrator.
Maybe
Dude,
Puerto Rico needs a level 7 system administrator.
We'll get to that part, but that's also when you know that John is not really a good guy. He might not be the Palpatine, but he ordered an invasion. He told, hey, just come down, wreck shop. Don't kill everyone, but start invading.
Again, that's like the contradiction, right? It's like, no, I don't want any death. I don't want your people are blowing shit up. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Dude, I was thinking all that money from that mint has to go now to repairing all At Attin with all that shit.
They have 1,000 vaults. Like, it's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine. All right, I'm sorry. Just one vault is enough, or maybe half of it.
Yep.
But it's something we really haven't seen on the show, like a full-on action scene, and like this whole episode was an action episode.
Yep.
And then we have the pirates attacking everyone, but then Kim. Oh, another thing that I love that we talked about last week is even the New Republic came in and they called Kim, which we kind of expected. It was still the kids that came up with the plan and ended up saving the day.
Yeah,
so I love that. Mm-hmm.
No, finish it.
Not just gonna say that I love that KB shows up with Neel. Hey, I have an idea. This is the plan. That the kids together came up with a plan to, hey, let's steal back the Onyx Cinder. We'll call Kim, and then we'll get the good guys to come and help us.
I love that the show figured out a way to give us the last 20 minutes of ET in Star Wars, like with the again the kids and bikes, but like everything is going to hell, so they need to get to this point before they get to them. And it was super awesome. Alberto, you know what reveal I freaking loved how they did the school and the gun thing.
Oh,
when like I was live texting Tony, and like when Neel falls, we were like, I was like, shit. I was like, Neel, you're my boy. And then suddenly I told Tony, wait,
Yeah.
He's in the school, and Tony's like, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," and like they slowly built to that. It was so cool.
Yeah. I'll do a what was it? I'll create a distraction. It's like again, I know people love to the foreshadowing on this show has been great. It hasn't been forced. I remember when the At Attin episode came out. I said, "Oh, this has to be there for a reason. We'll probably see at some point." So when he said, "Hey, I'll create a distraction," I started running through the school. I'm like, "Okay, he's gonna go get the turbo laser," and it worked great because when he crashed and he's like, "Oh, I'm fine, just go." Same as the parents, just leave the little elephant boy behind. I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna separate everyone from Neel," but as soon as he said, "Oh, I have a distraction," it's cool because everyone had something to do.
And by the way, in true kids and bikes fashion, think about Stranger Things.
Mhm.
These kids have like 6 parents in total, but only 2 of them show up. Same as in Stranger Things,
Yeah.
where only Joyce and Hopper are the ones who show up. The rest are like doing something else.
Yeah, whatever. Fern's, first mom is over there, Farah, but KB's mom's kind of just looking out there. Freaking Neil's dad, which I thought was going to be the savior, didn't do crap the whole season.
It was missing in action.
Just this big guy didn't do anything. It's too busy at work. But I love when they all get on the bikes. Wendell's like, "Okay, just give me the bike." He joins the race, just trying to escape. How happy he was when he made that jump over the news. "Yeah, I did it." I'm like, "Okay, Wendell, you're a child. You're really." He's us, right? At this age, we're reliving all our childhood experiences.
In Force Center, they were talking about how you would do things as a kid that you wouldn't do as an adult, with bikes specifically.
Yeah.
And I think all the time, every time I go to my grandparents' house, there's this hill that leads to a park in the neighborhood, and I would take my bike and go down. Like, I wouldn't even go down with a carton nowadays. So I
till you
love
have kids and you start telling them, "Don't do that. That's not safe." And then, "Oh wait, I did that on worse when I was their age."
Yeah, no, I know. I love that moment when they all realize, like, holy shit, we made it. Like,
They just hit it full throttle. And again, foreshadowing to that first episode where they didn't make it, and Neil's like, "Wait, isn't this that big hill or that big drop, whatever?" But then when Wendell became the hero to everyone, "Son, I'm a level 7 system administrator. Get the bikes." Dude, I was cheering. I was so happy.
I know, that was a fist pumping moment. Like, Wendell coming out of his shell.
Onyx in there. Clamps are holding on. Reminded me of Solo when they put the security clamps on the Falcon. But then they create this plan to go save Fern, plus undo the Onyx Cinder so they can fly out. And then we'll get into everything that happened with Jod and Fern and Far in a minute. But KB is able to go out into the atmosphere, out of the barrier, and contact Kim and tell, "Hey, we need help here. The coordinates to At Attin. Send us the X-Wing." And that's when, "Oh yeah, the New Republic, they're the best pirate hunters out there." That's when I got, "Oh, here comes the big cameo." Well, all right, I'll take it, whatever. Glad it didn't happen. Pirate Busters.
I was super expecting it, by the way. And like the minute all the ships showed up and I saw Naboo start, I was like, "Oh, thank God."
I was, when it was X-Wings, and okay, here comes Carson Teva. When the first person wasn't Carson Teva, like, "Oh, wait, there might be a chance."
I missed him.
He's the only one that would have made sense.
Yeah, no, I would have loved it.
It'll be
either him or Pelimoto. Those were the only cameos I would have been fine with.
I don't know how Pelly gets there, but I would have taken it.
Jod's crazy sister.
So let's talk about Jod real quick. And not real quick, we're going to spend some time on him. But we finally learned his Jedi backstory.
But no, wait. I love the scene when Wim gets there. And he's talking about the stone that he's been working with the Jedi. And Fern's like, no, it's true. And I love Jod is like, I know they're lying, but this is fascinating. Where is this going?
I'm going to go to one of the old things I used to say before I send you episode outline. It's on my notes for later. You're just jumping ahead.
You jumped ahead. This happens way before.
I know. It's
the
I
Jedi
told you
thing.
we don't go in order. All right, let's talk about the crystal of the founders.
The crystal of the.
And I've been talking to the X-wings or the Jedi's, and they're coming to get you. And then and he's like, no, the barrier, no, the crystal. And Fern's like, yeah, we found it a long time ago. Now William's been working. It's been our plan all along to have you capture us and bring us here. And he's like, no, but okay.
Yeah,
what's that?
I think he just wants to know where they're going with it.
Yeah. Do you think crystals of the founder will come back at some point?
No,
We'll read about it on a book
no.
someday.
Someday, yeah, maybe.
I don't mean that.
Whenever I write a Star Wars book, I'll put it in. I promise.
You'll put crystal of the founders. So he wasn't revealed to be this lost Jedi. He didn't officially lose his master in Order 66, or he didn't pass the Jedi trials. But a Jedi found him. He was desperate. He was hungry. He was out on the street. A Jedi found him, told him, hey, you have some ability out there. Let me train you a little bit. But she was being hunted, which then leads to believe. I believe there's a new interview with the creators from our friend Maggie Lovett that just dropped a couple of hours ago. And this question comes out that this happened after Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
It's when this Jedi finds Jod, and then she's being haunted by, I'm guessing, the Inquisitors. And I'm sure that's going to be in a story at some point.
Yeah,
but that he says,
one-shot comic.
Yeah, that's the galaxy. It's dark with a few pinpricks of light. So he wasn't a Jedi, never was a Jedi. He just had the Force, and unfortunately, the galaxy dealt him a bad hand. And he's been this guy for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't explicitly say it, but there's a moment where he pauses when he says she told me I had potential, and for me that was, and he just lingers in that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm guessing losing her was the worst thing that could have happened to him.
Yeah.
And what I love about that moment is that, and this is something that we've seen consistently with Jod, there's a lot of moments where I think he's talking to himself and not the kids.
Yeah.
And it's this thing you say you have to do this because the world is a dark place,
mm-hmm.
but you're making it a dark place
Sure.
by doing this. So you're choosing to continue the pattern of behavior that traumatized you and traumatize other people. So you're choosing to continue this.
Yeah.
And when we get to that moment when he tells Wim, the real good guys, there's nobody coming to save you, boy.
Yeah.
I think that's him trying to reaffirm what he believes, which leads me to what's gonna happen at the end. But
yeah, it's something that when you've live one life, even if you try to go away with it, and you get presented with those same opportunities or those choices again, it's very difficult to move away. He's been trying to get this big score for I don't know how long, right? At least he's been a pirate. He's been promising his crew, we're gonna find it. So even though we've seen through this series, one of my favorite scenes, I believe, is in episode 3 when they're gonna leave Port Borgo, or not Port Borgo, the moon, and Fern and KB are pressuring him. Hey, tell us the truth. And he's like, oh, I'm alone. I'm just like you guys. I have no one else. That's true. And he's kind of vulnerable at that point. On At Attin, when he saves the kids, you can tell that there's seems to be a connection there. He's not just doing it for the credits. But when you get the opportunity to, hey, everything you've been working for, trying to fire for the past decade, let's say, it's there and more than you wanted to, it's hard to deviate from that path. And him as a character couldn't make that choice to, I guess, make the right decision for the kids out there. But where was I? Oh, but then on the other end, you have Fern telling her mom, we've been out there. We saw a lot of things. There's a lot of bad out there. But we also met a lot of good people out there. And if you start thinking about it, almost every episode, they met someone that helped them along the way. So, yeah, there's a lot of evil out there, but there's also a lot of good. And that's what we need to focus on, just making that balance between those two.
Yeah, I really like all of that.
I love also when Fern, I mean, I've been saying since episode 1, Fern is my favorite. And I love that she's always trying to scheme, and he tells her, "Hey, you two, stop scheming over there." But she has a bunch of plans. Unfortunately, none of them work as she
No.
wants it because Judd is just laser focused on them. But I love that little thing. Hey, mom, we gotta go do this, and we'll pull the lever, and that's no. But At Attin will be out there forever, and that's when she says that they're still good out there. And said, "Stop scheming." I think that's when then Wim shows up with the crystal of the founders, which
Yep.
is a great scene. And poor Wim again. Last time he confronted Judd was the lightsaber episode when just goes flying. Well, he's still brave enough to confront him with nothing. He's just there with his
Yep.
wits, basically. So it was a great scene just to get Wendell there to start hitting some buttons to bring the droids back. Not the droids, so bring the system back up so they can escape. So I know it doesn't happen here, but when they tell him no, KB's out there, she's contacting the X-Wings, and then that's when they turn the barrier off. And he's like, "What are you doing? You don't know what you've done." And then KB starts falling. The Onyx Cinder starts falling. We know she's not going to die, but still for the kids out there, that's a pretty traumatic experience. It's like, I told you, look what you did. You just killed your friend.
I love how the show kept leaning into the darkness that Star Wars usually presents and then takes away. It's like, no, we're going deeper into it.
Yeah, it was like, oh, she did it. Oh no, she got shut down and she's gonna crash
Yeah,
10,000 feet.
the shot lingered on the school. I was like,
Yeah, I was waiting for
Nothing?
the explosion. There's some
Yeah.
smoke, but not that much.
but I also love that. Again, I think he's kind of being a hypocrite, but like John gets like upset at that. He's like,
Yeah.
this is not what I wanted, even though my people are killing people.
So I was gonna ask, did you read it that way that he, not just that he doesn't want to kill them, but that he has feels something for those 4 kids that didn't want to see her go down that way?
Yeah, I do think he deep down cared for, because
Yeah.
again, he saves them at times, and
Yeah.
he goes horrible and he does horrible things to them, but I still think that if it's like when we didn't talk about this when he gets Fern,
Yeah.
and because I wasn't here for that episode, I told Tony, like, I wish they would have called his bluff, because I don't think he would have done it.
Yeah.
And same here. I don't know. I don't think he would have. He was desperate, so maybe, but like I don't think he would have killed them.
It's difficult to say because it is a Star Wars show. It's, let's say, PG-13 show. They're not gonna kill a kid right there.
No, for sure.
But
For
at the
sure.
same time, you got to then decide, is he not killing them because he cares about them, or because it's the show, they can't really kill a
But I think that's the
13-year-old.
important thing. At the end of the day, he doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And he could have.
He could have, and it's not like he was trying to kill them and he was just missing or something. He was missing on purpose, just trying to scare them. When Fern and
He shoots Farah like.
Farah. I thought she was hit. When they go down and Fern's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mom," I thought he hit Farah. That one I did believe.
But he shot Fern.
I don't know.
So at first I was like, if he shoots Fern, like even in the arm, it's over. Like he's irredeemable.
It's worse than Palpatine.
Yep.
I thought Farah got in the way. Like,
Yeah.
oh, shoot me. That's why I thought she got him.
Again, that would have been irredeemable for me. I think the reason why he doesn't do it is because of hope.
Mhm.
And again,
Yeah.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'll leave it there.
So we get a great scene. It was a great scene all over with Wim and Fern getting the lightsaber, trying to protect their parents. I'm actually, before that, it doesn't matter. We'll talk about all that. When Wendell puts in the code, then he comes in, puts the lightsaber on Wendell's neck so Wim can press down on the lever. But then Fern and Wim are pulling back on the lightsaber as he's using the Force, at the same time trying to stop Farah from pulling down the lever. That's a great scene. And of course, at the end, our friend again, Wendell, comes out with a right cross across the chin. Just knock him out so they can
Like a
press
boss.
down, break down the barrier. But it was again a great scene. Gave Wim another chance to turn on that lightsaber. I just love that whole.
Yeah,
Everything
no,
happened
that,
in
that
that
was
middle.
super cool, and the lighting changes because that's when they take down the barrier.
Yeah.
And I love that Jod recognizes that he can't win.
Mhm.
Like that's something I really liked.
Yeah, he didn't need to throw down the blaster, right? He could have just shot all of them. But at that point, the X-Wings were there. I think the
That's
pirate ship
over.
was already coming down. It's like, what's the point? I
Yep.
lost. He's not dead. He's still around.
He's a smart guy. He's a smart
Yeah.
guy.
So the New Republic arrives. They take down all the pirates.
Cool ship action.
Very cool ship. The B-Wings came out for everyone that loves the B-Wings. I'm not the biggest B-Wings fan, but they did look pretty cool in
I
that
have
scene.
no opinion on the B-Wing.
They're better than the Y-Wings, I'll say that.
Probably.
And of course, they all run to go find. Oh wait, so there's that scene. Shall I leave it? I think I have it for no. So when they're going to the elevator to go find KB, Wim calls out
Yeah.
to Jod. And he kind of looks out. Some people say he was smirking, others say he was smiling. I think we're just looking. Do you take anything from that scene apart from Wim being the greatest kid out there, still trying to save the person who wanted to slave everyone?
You're talking about when Jod goes to the window to look at the
Yeah, so before he goes to look at or he's looking at it, they're running to the elevator.
Yeah,
Wim calls
that-
out. Yeah.
No, I really like that moment and him being like, no, go. Like I'll stay.
Yeah.
Like,
And another great shot of him just looking out the window and that pirate cruiser just crashing down, destroying half the city.
so
But we won the day.
that for me is one of my favorite moments of the show. Like that of him like taking it in and seeing the ship falling and then smiling.
Yeah.
That's why I say like I think he doesn't kill them because of hope. Like I think he's smiling because he realizes that he was wrong. And I think that's why he never killed the kids, that beacon of hope that he was wrong and that these kids could have what he could not have, like the good guys showing up and stopping the bad guy from hurting them. And I think again in Force Center they said like maybe he's smirking because he thought of a clever way to get out of it, which would be cool.
Yeah.
But I think that's his redemption moment. Like I
Okay.
think that's when he realizes like, okay, I've been on the incorrect path.
Yeah. On that Collider interview, I just glanced at it, but the Ford and who's the other? Christopher Ford and
John Watts.
John Watts. They said his redemption moment was not killing the kids.
Yep.
Which kind of goes, so there's still that hope in him that I'm evil, quote unquote, but I'm not gonna cross that line. That red line, right? I won't kill kids, which is something that real life. But the best thing is that he's still alive, and that means we can get more Jude Law, which we all want at some point.
Yep. He was so good in this show. Like he was just so good. Like, we need him in another Star Wars thing.
Yeah. All right. So before we go into what's next for this show, what we think might happen, the show basically ends with they save KB. She rolls down like a dragon into a pot of gold, like Smog there, and just did we win?
Best line ever.
Yeah.
And by the way, validation for KB because the ship never crashed because she managed to at the last second reignite it and then 33 lifted it up.
Actually, again, she fixed 33, or at least the head.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
He comes back and out and says, "Oh, one of my best landings ever." Ship just hanging out. So I'm glad that SM33 is around. The little rat is around. KB is fine. She saved the day. I love when her mom said, "Oh, you know how to fly that thing?" Of course, I know how to fly this crap.
Yep.
And of course, Wim looking out the roof to see the X-Wings going out in his broom kid moment. Just seeing hope out there. Great way to end the series. Abrupt, but it's a cool visual.
It is. It definitely is. And I think the reason it worked for me after thinking about it, this show has been so much about the kids and their perspective.
Yeah.
Everything about who was inside the Corvette, what's gonna happen with At Attin, what happened to John, like that's not the kids' business. Like
Yeah.
they'll go to school the next day or in a week when they rebuild it or something.
They rebuild it.
So yeah, again, at first I was like very disappointed. Like we don't know what happens like with everyone. Like you're leaving it here without knowing if we're getting a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But like then thinking about it, like it makes sense for the story for it to end there because the kids no longer have a role in what's next.
It's something that it's not just you. Like people at my house were like, really? Is that it? Doesn't make sense. It threw them off a lot. Like, really, this is how the show ends? Just kind of doesn't make sense. So, and I understand a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing before we go into what the kids don't need to worry about, it's what's in the future. I love that for better or for worse, this show didn't fall into the traps that we see in a lot of finales. Like, we didn't need the big reveal. No. We didn't need the big cameo or the big twist at the end. Jod wasn't a secret Jedi. We didn't get no Order 66 backstory or flashback. The supervisor was just a droid that we all thought he was. It was on the kids and their stories, and they're the ones that saved the day. With the help from Kim and the X-Wing, we was them.
Yep.
And that's what the show was from day one to the way it ended. It stayed true to what the show was. It's this pirate show with kids and this great coming-of-age story as they try to find out that there's a bigger outside world, but still focus about what's important, what's inside. It stayed true to that, and for that, I love it. Where does it rank? I don't know. I don't care right now where it ranks. I just love that it stayed true to it, and people love to give Tony Gilroy a lot of praise for, hey, he didn't let the studio come in and wreck Andor with cameos or whatever. They should do the same thing for this show, because you could bring a lot of people into this show, especially into that finale.
And it would have made sense, by the way.
Yeah, but it wasn't needed to make it a great episode. So I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, no. I really, really like this finale, and how, again, it was just true to the story it was always telling. Like it wasn't bothered by anything else. And by the way, thinking about stories similar to this, E.T. ends in a very similar way. Yeah. Elliot sees the ship go by. We don't know what happens to E.T. We don't know what happens to Elliot. We don't know what happens to Elliot's mom. I hope she got married again and is happy.
Yeah. I think I mentioned a while back, I haven't seen E.T. in probably like 25 years. So
then that's a you problem.
Man. I know. I can't blame anyone. Another thing, even though we have all our theories that KB is going to be a secret Jedi, she has a force, like, again,
never came back.
That's just fun to talk about it. It would have been completely out of the blue if in this episode she's like, oh yeah, I'm just pulling the ship out of the roof with the force. Yep. All right, but just to finish up, just thinking about what's next. So we know Jod is alive, we're guessing. So hopefully he'll get out at some point. Hopefully we'll see him. So I know there were some rumors that characters from this show will appear in your favorite Mandoverse out there in the movies. Where do you see
the Filoni movie?
Yeah. Where do you see any of them, if any? Even though we don't know where the movie's gonna take place or what the movie's going to be about, is it because the New Republic now knows where At Attin is and they can get all the credits that they want?
Yeah, maybe Thrawn invades. Hey guys, I need money.
Maybe it's close to.
Someone's got to pay the Night Sisters.
Hey, they're across in a different galaxy. They gotta get some money out there.
Yeah. No, I'm not really sure how they get involved into this and what characters. Like, by the way, I just had this thought of the New Republic coming in to arrest Jod, and Jod being like, "Thank God you're here. I've been looking for you guys."
Yeah, it might work.
You won't believe
that day I had. Yeah, I just got the crystal of the founder that helped me get out here.
Yeah. I've always thought it would have to do with the pirates in some way.
Yeah. I mean, Mando season 3 was very pirate heavy, so it makes sense that some of them show up.
There were like 2 episodes.
That's heavy for me. No, I think it makes sense that Jod shows up somewhere, especially in a movie. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Just put Jude Law on the poster in a Star Wars movie, people will go watch it, even if they've never seen Skeleton Crew.
Can I just say, like, people are always like, I love scoundrels, I love Mandalorians, I love bounty hunters. Buddy, I'm a pirate guy now. Like, just give me pirate movies.
It's so fun, and that's one of the things that I love about Star Wars. I've always been a Jedi guy. Everything needs to do with the Jedi, I'm on board. by end of Mando season 2, I'm like, man, the Mandalorians are so freaking cool. I want to know more about them. That's my guy now. Everything with pirates on this show, I'm loving.
It's awesome.
So I love how
Yeah,
it can go back and forth. All those.
I want them
factions.
to do a pirate thing, like a show or movie. I don't
Yeah.
know, even a book. Like I dig into it.
It will make sense. It can work. I know a lot of people are jumping already to, oh, I know that this character, I know Fern is flying the Onyx Cinder into Exegol.
What happens to the Onyx Cinder? Like, we have no idea now.
We don't. And like, I don't want the kids to be involved in the bigger galactic battle. So I know people, oh, I know this guy's doing that, and Wim is flying an X-Wings. Like, they don't need to go into the military. Just leave them.
No, I think Wim became an X-Wing pilot. I think that's the purpose of that scene.
All right.
Like, Wim was in Exegol. Like, I have no doubt about it.
Imagine in 2029 when we go watch the new Jedi Order movie, and there's a 47-year-old X-Wing pilot. Hey, Wim, how you doing?
Yep.
We just die right there.
Yep. Hey, man, hopefully.
Hey, I'll take it. I hope they do a season 2. I know Star Wars and Lucasfilm are different with the way they do their shows. We've talked about how Disney Plus and Star Wars streaming might look different in the future. We have no idea what else is coming. So I'm not saying yes, we're going to get a season 2, even though the reviews have been off the charts. I really wish we can hope that we can get a continuation of this story. For John Watts have come out to say we have an idea for season 2. Yes, the kids will be older. We know where we will take this. So I hope they get a chance. And again, Celebration is right there. It's the perfect way to do this reveal. So hopefully we get it.
Yeah, I really hope so. Like, if we don't get it, I don't want to see the Skeleton Crew canceled. Like, they never announced the second season. So,
dude, it's something I'm trying to limit my social media time. I'm bad at it, but at least I'm staying away from Twitter as much as I can. I'm still there once in a while. And I know that the Acolyte was a very important show to a lot of people, especially with all the representation that was out there. Not that I'm okay, but I've put that in the past, that the Acolyte was canceled, unfortunately, but let's move on. When I go to Twitter now, it seems like that place that people go just to, hey, renew the Acolyte. Like every other post is, renew the Acolyte, renew the Acolyte, renew the Acolyte, which is fine, but it's like, okay, hopefully we get an announcement, but let's move on.
I don't think it's going to happen.
So,
I love the Acolyte. Like, I
still a great show.
Freaking love that show. But
yeah. I'm bad at rewatching Star Wars show, but I haven't rewatched the Acolyte, but I really enjoyed it.
But yeah, no, like, and by the way, similar to the Acolyte, if we don't get a second season, I'm gonna be bummed. But at least the story wrapped up. Like,
yes.
So whatever, the next chapter to those characters can be told elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll get a book about something, even if it's that Jedi on the run that runs into this kid out on the streets and tries.
For sure. I think we'll get complementary material to the show. Like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna do that.
Imagine that the animated show is following the kids now. Just an animated show with Wim, Neel, Fern. Like 5 years on.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, so that does it for Skeleton Crew finale. Was
Leia in the Corvette?
I don't give a crap. I don't.
It was like, who was in there? Like, Steve, I guess. I don't know.
Whoever it was, some other weirder. Maybe Pelimoto was in the Corvette.
Oh,
that'll be fun.
John!
She just saved John. All right, another Star Wars show. Again, for the hate that they get, I think Star Wars live action has been killing it since season 1 of The Mandalorian came out. I think every show has been great.
I've liked every single show. Right. I like some more than others, but I've liked them all.
Yeah. All right, so that does it for our episode this week. We'll be taking a couple of weeks off. I'll reach out to Yote to plan our next one. I believe it will be the first, kind of that weekend in February, whenever. I'll tell you right now, sorry. Just look at this calendar. Maybe February 7th, either the 7th or the
I don't
8th.
think I can any of those days.
You son of
We
a
could
bitch.
record it though. We'll talk about it.
Maybe we could, because this. Anyway, we'll do an episode about looking back at 2024 and looking forward to 2025. We'll come back next time. So to everyone out there, thanks for joining us on another season of Radio Rebellion, season 9. We're gonna go to season 10. 5 years of this show. I can't believe it, but
Wow.
stay safe, be safe, and remember, if you need help, find a level 7 system administrator. See you later.
We're a Republic emissary. Either way.